Cindy Mooney. Patrick Busby.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Would you please
My name is Patrick Busby. I'm Director of the Health Department for Montgomery County. That's the county. Those of you who don't know where that is, the county just north of Houston there.
Yeah, near me.
I have 35 years of experience in public health. You all have heard about the recent outbreaks of foodborne illness concerning peanut butter, peanuts, peppers, tomatoes. All of these items were before not potentially hazardous foods, and they were not subject to the temperature control and food sanitation protocols. But as you well found out, we've had deaths, we've had a lot of illness from these products. And the bakery industry was caught up into this. And those were inspected places. Some were not. And there was some lax enforcement. What we're proposing here is, on this bill, is cakes and pies. Now, when these home bakeries get requests for kolaches, meat pies, croissants, eggs, cream-filled pastries, are they going to turn down their customers? I don't think so. And all of those items there will make you sick. Those are potentially hazardous foods. And where does it end? Once we allow this will go on. The old adage of your home is your castle is now a bakery, with very little oversight, except for when you make someone ill. Then the fun begins. You try to put the pieces together and find out the culprit in your aunt's kitchen that cause these illnesses. First, you have to rule out the 3 dogs and the 3 cats and the infant that's sick. Commercial bakeries have the training, experience, and the investment in their facilities, and the insurance to protect them when and if they make someone ill. And the state also gets the sales tax from these products. The state health department and the local health departments will shoulder the burden of inspection and enforcement if deemed necessary. If this is allowed to go through, you're going back into the 1940s where you had a common drinking cup. I'll entertain questions.
Thank you, members. Do you have any questions of Mr. Busby? Let me ask something. Now, in Montgomery County, which is part urban, suburban,
yes,
and then part rural,
right?
How do you deal? First of all, how many people do you have working?
Well, my staff, I have 30, but that's environmental.
It's everything.
That's everything.
How many people do inspections on food service business? Six.
And that's roughly 3,000 permitted places. So you can imagine their load. And this will increase their load tremendously because everybody's going to come out of the woodwork. They see they're going to make a buck, and it's just human nature. I'm not against the people making money, but you have to draw the line somewhere.
Do you all do food service management courses? Is that required for?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that is required.
Yes, sir.
And so you're standard, just like the other metropolitan areas.
Right. We adopted the state laws on food preparation, the TFER book, Texas Food Establishment Rules, which we operate under.
And those rules were put in place for what reason?
To keep the public's health, protect the public.
Thank you. Members, are there any other questions? Let's finish that.
I was just going to ask, so you're opposed to the bill?
Yes, sir, I surely am. And so is my department.
Is your department supposed to? Well, how many businesses has your department shut down of these type of homes?
Well, they usually comply when we tell them this is illegal, and they will comply.
And what does comply mean?
They will cease operation.
Okay.
Now, I can't tell you how many is underground that's doing this. If we catch them, we tell them you cannot do this without having a separate operation to do your product.
Okay.
You don't have to have all the commercial equipment. I see that in the law there, but that is a little misleading.
Has it been a nuisance to Montgomery County with these folks in operation?
Yes, sir, it has. By the time we receive a complaint about somebody ill from one of these places, it's a needle in a haystack. The food is gone, and it's people that they've been hospitalized a while, and you're not going to find the product.
And sometimes they go in the ground.
Oh yeah, you can't find out.
Okay. All right.
Especially where their products coming from.
Okay. Thank you.
Representative Sherrill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Busby, thanks for being here. Could you give me some specifics around some of these illnesses that you have felt are attributed to these home
I'm
bakers?
thinking of especially around if they have infants in there, you get sugarlosis.
No, but I mean specific examples in Montgomery County. Can you share with me some specifics around some of those illnesses that you discovered?
What we've had is just acute diarrhea, where we've gone out and these were people were selling tamales, potentially hazardous foods. Some were selling baked goods.
Something baked goods also?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we
Like
had
what?
these were kolaches, and they caused these were staph infections. Someone was preparing food with they had cuts or burns on their hands and they did not use proper sanitation.
And the illness that was associated with that was?
The staph infection
Of what?
from the kolaches.
But where was the staph infecting?
They had it on their hands from cuts.
So from a food product,
Right. When they prepared the food, that's when it happened.
it wasn't an enteric illness then. That would be more typical of a food-borne illness or problem as opposed to a skin infection. That's
Right. If they had learned what to do and cover that food, cover their hands when they prepared that food, then they wouldn't have infected that food.
So they acquired a skin infection directly from a food product.
No, yes, they acquired the illness from the food that they contaminated.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Members, are there any other questions for Mr. Busby?
It just seems like you want to be for the bills, that way you know where these folks are. That's what I understand. It's like that way you know where a registry, you know where to track them down.
Well, I understand that, but if you register these people, then the resources to keep track of them, how are you going to do that? Who's going to pay for this?
Okay, that's what you're concerned about. It's the mandate coming down to you.
Right, the mandate to track these folks, and if they cause an illness, what do we do then? Okay, because it's a needle in a haystack.
Okay, because all right, but do you think they're going to probably do it anyway, even if this bill doesn't pass? They're still going to be doing it.
There will be outlaws, and I call them outlaws, but there still will be.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think anything about that.
Sure, I understand. Thank you.
Members, are there additional questions? Just a comment, and I think this is a good bill to bring to us. I had a great cake. I couldn't eat any, but the staff ate it, and they loved it. And one of the people from Les Council ate some too. So that's a little more favorability for bills. In a registration bill, I remember I was brought a bill to register in-home nannies or child care workers, come stay at your home. And one of the challenges with it was that it would say to someone that the state has done its due diligence on those individuals, yet there wouldn't be enough people to go through and look at those particular places. Is that something you're indicating?
Well, I'm not going to have the staff to do this. I would have to hire extra staff. I mean, it's just human nature. You talk about the economy here. People are going to want to make an extra buck. The main thing, my main concern is the foodborne illness implications.
Well,
We can't regulate their animals in their house.
we all love our homemade cakes,
Mm-hmm. We all do.
and thank you very much. Representative Murphy.
Well, I was just gonna say, there's two of us diabetic on this committee that don't eat any of this anyway, right?
That's right. Can't eat anything. It should look good, though. Yeah, I think it's pretty.
I just want to make sure I'm your conscience.
No, it's in my conscience. It was pretty. It was a pretty cake. Oh, sorry. The chair